had to get my coffee. Okay, hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I always say that I'm super excited to bring you this video, but this is a video that has been requested for, dare I say, like at least a year, and I get the request for it a lot of the time. And I think the reason why I have not done it is because I didn't know where to start. So I really had to like sit down and really like plan this video. A lot of the times I just sit down and talk, but this one I really planned out, and I also forgot my phone, which has all my notes, so I'll be right back. Okay, so this entire video, as you can tell by the title, is how to make a YouTube channel-ish. I decided the best way to answer y'all's questions, because I didn't know what you wanted me to talk on. If you wanted me to do like an in-depth talk about all of the products that I use, or an in-depth talk about what cameras to use or what to do best for lighting, I can definitely do that. And if that's something they're interested in, please drop that down in the comments or send me an email, find me on Facebook. Let me know, because I really enjoy that kind of thing. I love to edit. Editing is probably my favorite thing to do, and I love to teach people how to do it. So I will go over what editing software I use, because that's like the #1 question that I get asked. I did a poll on Instagram and Facebook and asked for people to send me questions that they wanted to know. So I will definitely be getting to that. I'm using my holiday mug. I love Halloween, but I can't wait for Christmas. Okay, so I think I want to start out this video by kind of telling the history of my channel. I graduated in December 2016 with a vocal performance degree from Texas State University. Very creative degree. I was on stage all the time. I was expressing myself all the time. I was in theater classes. I was in voice lessons. I was in all kinds of stuff. Lots of ways to express myself. That all came to a hard stop when I graduated and decided that I didn't want to go into opera. I wanted to have a family, and that's a completely different story. But I started a sit-down job with the university that I graduated from. And although I loved my job, I felt like I had lost this creative outlet that I had. I watched YouTube constantly. I watched YouTube on my lunch break. I watched YouTube when I went to bed at night. I watched YouTube when I put my makeup on in the morning. I loved YouTube, all things YouTube. And so one day I had this grandiose idea that I was going to start a YouTube channel. And I actually kept that under wraps for about a month and a half. I had a name picked out and everything, and I just kind of kept it under wraps because I was afraid that people would laugh at me and that they would think I was crazy. Why would you want a YouTube channel? Luckily, people were very supportive, and when I say people, I mean my mom and my sister, who I spilled the beans to, and they're like, no, you should really do it. So if you have seen those first videos, I apologize. But I heard from a really awesome YouTuber one time that you should never ever delete the first videos that you have, because those just show how far you've come. And I do like to go back and watch them and cringe sometimes at the things that I would say and how I was like trying to like come up with the cool slogans and things like that, when really I just needed to be myself. So that was in May of 2017. It is now October of 2019, so it's been 2 years. Going around, gonna be 3 years pretty soon, and I can't believe all that's changed. The other thing that I really love about having a YouTube channel is all the cool things that you see change. So at that time I was single. I then was in a relationship, got engaged, got married, we bought a house, and now we're pregnant. So it's so cool that we have all of that documented, and I have all these fun moments and memories documented. All right, enough about me and my YouTube story, although I want to hear you and your YouTube story, so email me, send me a Facebook message, send me an Instagram DM. Just let me know. I love to hear from y'all. So the next thing that I wanted to do is answer those questions that I got asked and that I've been asked several times. The first question that I can tell you before even looking that I get asked constantly is, how do you start a YouTube channel? Surprisingly, it's not rocket science. You would think like, oh gosh, what do I have to do? No, it's really not. All you have to do is have a Gmail account and have a Google account. And through your Gmail, you can start your YouTube channel. You can upload videos, you can get your little profile picture, you can do your cover art up at the top, and that's pretty much it. You just have to have a Gmail, and then log on to YouTube, and you can start posting videos from there. So I have 2 YouTube channels. Now, one of them is from when I was in college and was auditioning for different things. I had videos that I would upload to that channel. I'm not gonna share that channel. And the other channel, of course, is Mallorie in the Making. You can have, I think, as many YouTube channels as you want. I don't know that for certain. I've even toyed around with the idea of starting a new YouTube channel called Simply Sarvis, because that's our last name, that will be like daily vlogs and things once the baby is born, but I'm not completely sure yet. I know that this channel has become mostly health related, which I love. So That's the easy thing. You just have to go to Gmail or go to your Google account, go to YouTube. As long as you've got that Gmail account, you're able to start a YouTube channel. Simple as that. How do you edit your videos and how much time does it take to maintain your channel? Really good question. So that's going to depend on what kind of channel you have and how long and how much you're wanting to post. So mine kind of varies, I will say. For a while it was 2 times a week. Then when we got pregnant, I was completely lost of motivation. Now that we're back, I'm trying to do 3 times a week. So maintaining that YouTube channel, it takes me at my house with my Wi-Fi about 10 minutes to upload a video and get everything, like all the description typed out. A lot of that you can just put in your notes on your computer and just copy and paste. So simple. And then I just use Adobe Spark for my thumbnails. Sometimes if I'm feeling really fancy, I'll use Adobe Photoshop. But if I'm like in a rush, need to do it quickly, I just use Adobe Spark. So I would say uploading a video and getting it ready to go on the internet takes me about 10 to 15 minutes, so not very long. Editing a video depends on the video. This video that I'm filming now will probably take me maybe 2 hours to edit. When I first started editing, my very first YouTube video took me 5 hours. But that's because I was learning how to use the editing software. I completely taught myself. And I used iMovie at that time. So I would say it takes about 2 hours on average to edit and to edit a YouTube video, but it takes me about 10 to 15 minutes to actually get it on the internet and ready to be posted. Somebody asked me what my inspiration was for my YouTube channel. Kind of what I just talked about was definitely having this new creative outlet after I had finished school. She asked if it was specifically Optavia. It wasn't. If you have been watching me for a while, you know that I didn't start Optavia until September of 2017. So there was about 4 to 5 months or so where I had not started Optavia and it was just vlogs. And I loved to do those. Like I said, they're cringy, they're from 2 years ago, but they're still fun to go back and watch. What editing platform do I use? I use Final Cut Pro. It is the extension or the upgraded version of iMovie. If you have an Apple computer, if you have a Mac, if you have a laptop that's Apple, if you have a MacBook, I guess that's what an Apple laptop would be, you've got iMovie already on your laptop. If you have an iPhone, you've got iMovie right there with you, so you can do it there as well. But I used iMovie for probably a year, maybe a little longer than a year, while I was learning, because it was extremely simple to do with me who had never done any photo editing, any video editing in my life, and it was easy for me to teach myself. Once I think I mastered that and I wanted a couple more of the editing techniques and the different layers that you could add to it, I moved on to Final Cut Pro, which you do have to pay for, but it's only, I want to say it's $300 for the entire software. Like, I'm not gonna have to go back and buy it again, and I love it. A lot of people use Adobe Premiere. It's too high tech for me. I just don't get it as much as I get Final Cut Pro, and I think that's because I started with iMovie. They have the same layout, so I love Final Cut Pro. I love this question. Somebody asked me how I got over the fear of being in front of the camera. The truth is, I have never really been shy, ever, and I was on stage all the time from the time I was 14 years old till I was 22, 23. And so that was something that wasn't super scary to me, and my idea was I can sit in front of a camera and talk to a camera, and then if I don't like something, I can just go edit it out. Now, don't get edit crazy. Like, don't go in and just edit your complete, 30-minute video to a 5-minute video because you don't like the way you looked in that shot, or you don't like the way you exactly said something. And you'll get used to that. You'll get used to saying something and being like, well, I can edit that, or let me re-say that, or they'll understand what I'm saying. I wish that I could tell you, and actually, this is my second take of saying this exact thing, how many times I will stop in a video, look off to the side, think about what I want to say before I say it again because I didn't like the way I said it the first time, or I'll completely stumble on my words. It's totally okay to do that. So this took me 2 takes to say that one little chunk. Sometimes it takes me a couple, and that's okay. So one of my awesome clients, who I'm not gonna name, but I absolutely adore her, she knows who she is, she said, were you scared or nervous at first? We kind of just went over that. She wants to document her journey, but it kind of scares her. So to said client, you know who you are, just do it. If it starts with photos, with your before and after photos, awesome. If it starts with you sitting in front of a camera and saying, I've been on my journey for such and such months, here's what I've accomplished, here's what I see that's different, here's what I love, do it. And be completely honest. If you sit down and you say, you know what, I've been on this journey and there have been some really hard days, and last weekend I went off program. That's okay. That shows that you're relatable. Everybody does it. Everybody has mistakes. Nobody is perfect in anything. So it's okay because it shows that you're relatable. Sit down, do it. If it takes you 10 days to edit it to what you want, and then post it. You're not gonna get a bad backlash. Okay, so this last question that I'm gonna answer is probably one of my favorites, and I love that I get to end with it because it gives me, as a YouTube creator, a chance to thank y'all, my subscribers and viewers. So she asked, how has YouTube helped me grow in other areas of my life? So when I first posted my first YouTube video in May of 2017, I posted it that first night, posted it to Facebook and said, this is my new channel. By the next morning, I had, I think, like 70 subscribers or something. And it was all my friends and family who had seen me grow up or who knew me from school or had me as a Facebook friend who had seen me before. So that was really interesting. Now, almost 2.5 years later, we're sitting at almost 12,000 subscribers. Now, a lot of that has to do with my Optavia journey, and I love that. That is a huge part of my story. It is a huge part of who I am, but that's not all of me. And I love that the people that watch this channel watch not just because of Optavia, but also because I feel like we've become friends and family. People reach out to me all the time and say, hey, I watch your YouTube channel, and I just beam, I just glow, because it's so cool to know that I'm getting to talk to somebody across the nation or across the world because of a YouTube channel. I just think it's so cool. So yes, it has helped me grow with Optavia. I'm a coach now. That helps a lot, and it's wonderful, and I think it's amazing. But the part that I love the most about it is that I have so many friends and family. I call you my friends and family from all over, that there's now 12,000 of us. I remember the first time that I got a comment on a video that wasn't somebody from my friends and family. No offense to my friends and family who know me in real life. I love you dearly. But when I saw that my YouTube channel was reaching out to people who didn't know me in person, it was just like this most surreal moment. I was at my parents' house and I came running out of my room yelling, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I told them and they were like, that's really exciting. But to me, it was like everything to know that this really was something that somebody was watching and helping someone, and how cool is it that somebody I don't know actually wants to see what I'm doing. So it has helped me grow in so many ways, business-wise, person-wise, family-wise. Okay, enough of the mushy gushy stuff. I think I want to go ahead and show you some of my favorite products that I use. I'm not going to get too in-depth because in my opinion, when you're starting out your YouTube channel, you need two things. You need a camera, which nowadays smartphones have a camera that is perfect, and you need a laptop or computer with editing software. It's not that much. That's what I started with. I started with the MacBook and my phone. I think the first 2 or 3 videos were filmed with my phone. Now, when I found out that this is something that I really wanted to do, I went out and purchased or got for my birthday a new camera that I could sit down and film videos with and had good audio, and or so I thought. I didn't know anything back then. So the first thing you need is just basically a camera, smartphone, and your editing software. So this is my camera bag. I use this to hold my cameras when I'm not using them. I do not carry this around on a daily basis unless I am going like for a weekend at my parents' house and I know that I'm gonna be doing a couple different things, or a weekend at Robbie's parents' house, or I just need to carry my cameras somewhere. I'll take this with me. It has a side pocket for my laptop if I'm gonna edit on the go, which I really don't like to do because my laptop is kind of old. It's a hand-me-down from Robbie. And I would really much rather edit on my Big Mac in my office. But if I have to, I have this space for it. Down here is where I keep my cameras. Now, the first camera that I ever started out with was my EOS Rebel T6i from Canon. This is a really awesome camera for a couple different things. It's really good if you want to take still photos. It's really good if you want to do some outdoor vlogging. It's a really good camera. It has the viewfinder. The not so fun thing about it is, because it's a little bit older, is the viewfinder is off to the side. So if you're trying to teach yourself how to look at the lens, it's a little easier if you have one that flips over top and not to the side. But that's something that you can easily fix by just looking at the lens. So this is my first camera. It is very heavy. It is super heavy. That is one of the reasons why I switched to the next camera. Okay, so this camera is my Canon PowerShot G7X Mark II. This is a very common camera. It's a little broken. I need to get it fixed. You can take it into Best Buy and get it fixed. But it is my favorite light handheld camera for when I'm vlogging most of the time. But this is the camera that you'll see most YouTubers have. It's starting to phase out, so not as many people have it. They're getting newer things. But this is a super lightweight, very easy vlogging camera. I wouldn't use it for still shots just because it's not really what it's made for. It's more made for like video. But it's super easy. It's got the flip up viewfinder, just like I was talking about, versus the sideways viewfinder. And the only thing is you can only use this lens on it. There's not a lens that you can take off and, you know, replace with something else. So it's very much a handheld. The other camera that I'm using right now is the Canon EOS M6. Actually a crossover between a camera like this, like our Canon G7X Mark II, and a camera like this, my Canon EOS Rebel T6i. It is smaller like this, but you can replace the lenses like this one. So I love it because it's not quite so heavy, it's lighter weight, but also I can put different lenses for different things that I'm doing. So if I'm doing a sit down video, I can use a very narrow lens. If I'm doing a vlogging video where I'm outside and need a lot of background, I can use a wider lens. This is the Manfrotto tripod. It's something that I use when I'm vlogging, so I hold it and talk to it, or if I'm gonna sit like on my desk and talk to it. It's really, really lightweight, so you're not having to carry around any extra weight other than your camera. And it's something that a lot of YouTubers use. In fact, that's how I found out about it, is because I saw another person, what I use when I vlog, and they use this. So it's got the little screw on top, just like all tripods do. And then it makes it very simple to just talk and vlog. This button on the side here helps to adjust this, so you can push it, and then your camera, you can move it here, you can move it back, you can move it forward, you can move it in a circle, and then once you let go of it, it locks it for you. So it's also super, super simple. You don't have to worry about unscrewing any knobs. You just push the button and move it where you want to. Okay, before this video gets way too long and way too in-depth, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here. Like I've said 3 times in this video already, if you have questions about anything else that's pertaining to vlogging, or just doing sit-down videos or a YouTube channel, please feel free to reach out to me. My email will be down below. My comments are enabled, so please feel free to comment there. Also like if you liked the video, and subscribe if you're new. And you can even reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram. But I think I'm gonna stop here. There's so much more that I could go into, but I don't want y'all's heads to spin because it took me 2.5 years to figure all this out. And if I tried to cram all that into a 25-minute video, I just wouldn't do it justice. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching today. Thank you so much for being on this channel. If you've been here for a while, like I said, if you're new, consider subscribing. But I want to thank you guys. I love you all, and God bless you.